So let's try over here. Route -n. We have a gateway IP which is 196. So let's use net discover -i ethio fnr and my subnet and /1. So the scan didn't finish, but it didn't detect the IP address of the machine. Okay, so let's check settings. There's a problem with this one. So let's run this. Start again. Let's see if we can find the IP address now. Yes, now we can find the IP address, which is 321 over here, which is your PCS. And over here, let's check the IP address 311, and we have. So welcome, Mr. Robot. The series we're gonna try today, and we're gonna try one by one all these things. So over here, let's try with the mmap. So I'm gonna use small s capital C with the concatenate, small s capital V for the service bus version, and the IP address. And side by side, let's do Nicto to check the misconfigurations and links, misconfiguration services, and this directories. So we have PHP 5.5.29 over here, and we can see the mmap scan has been done, and we have port number 22, which is closed over here. We have port 80, which is Apache server, and port 443, which is over here. So let's try the Nicto. Nicto is still running over there. Let's try one more thing, which is our Diverster. Let's scroll the entire network device. So we here, just copy this one, and let's paste. So we are doing the enumeration part. Let's use the user share word list. Diverster. Let's use any of this dictionary over here. So we're gonna use yes, I'm gonna use a medium. Remove the be recursive, and we have PHP. So through the webalizer, we can identify which are running over there in the backend. So there's an Apache. Let's enumerate this one again. But through the Nicto, we can see that there's running PHP over there. So we can use PHP directory over here to enumerate. So extract. Through the Diverster, we're going to enumerate the directories and subdirectories on the server side. So we can see in the backend that there are some directories and files. There's a WP login page over here. There's WP content, some audios, some feeds, some admin directory, some login field, which is redirecting client because this is 302. So you can open this one in open browser. And over here we have WP login page. So this is our WordPress login website. So with the help of crawling, we can identify the number of directories on the server side. So we can see there are admin.js.login.php, some WP logins, and we can also try the tree view. So the tree view, we can see all the things one by one over here in a proper way. And the Nicto is also running that. It's find some admin directory over there. And what we have over here, maybe there's nothing. So we have login page, admin, some images, some audio, some WP content, some videos over here, some image files. So there's one more thing that we can do in the very first thing when we're doing a pen testing of a website. Always check the robot.txt. Is there is a robot.txt file over there or not? So through the robot.txt, we can simply check what are the allow and disallow directories on the source side. For example, over here I can see they have given some commands. Okay, there's a root shell over here. So prepare fsociety inform, wake up.
What I'm about to tell you is top secret.
So over there is a video.
There's a powerful group of people out there that are secretly running the world. I'm talking about the guys no one knows about, the guys that are invisible.
So Mr. Robot is a series of Mr.
The top
Robot
1% of the top 1%, the guys that play God without permission.
Ah, that was cool. Prepare.
You are not free. Owned by your job, owned by the 1% of the 1%, owned by Dennis. We have a society. Between June 18th and 20th, we will take back over $100,000. And give it to you. But I want to ensure to delete the man that holds you hostage. It's code.
MrRobot.com. But the main objective is to check the robot.txt file. So we cannot manually write robots.txt, and when I simply write robot.txt file over there, I can see there are some two files on the server side. So one is your fsociety.dec and one is your key of this file. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a folder over here, and I'm going to write this one, Mr. Robot. So I'm going to use wget command to fetch the file from the server. Hello? Hello?
Yes, Partho. Thanks. Thanks for letting me.
Okay, not an issue. Yeah, so over here, we were doing wget command to fetch the file from the browser over here. So there was file like fsociety, fsociety.dec, and there was a key out of 3. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the URL over here, and I'm going to paste it over here, and I'm going to place the file also. Same thing I'm going to do with the key also over here. Yeah, so those have been installed, and we can see over here fsociety.dec and the key file. So let's do ls-all, and we can see the files over here. Let's try to open this one first. So it contains some words. So we have a dictionary over here. So I guess with the help of Quill that we done yesterday, we can also create our own dictionary on the website. And over here, the number of lines we can check. So there are around 2,65,000 around something words over there. So there are many more words. It's still loading. And we have key 1 out of 3 also. So the Mr. Robot machine is all about penetrate or information gathering part. You have to look all these things one by one. For example, look, they have find the WP admin over there also. The dashboard you can see. The login page. Or we can simply look for the Nicto. And Nicto is still stuck because the Buster is running over there. So it's going to take some time to cover. So let's leave it on, and we can move to the next part. So over here, it's also find an admin page. But the most important part, what we're going to do, we're going to try to enumerate the login page. We're going to find some vulnerabilities according to the WordPress. So what I'm going to do, over here, we're going to use WP scan. So let's do ping. Yeah, we have a table 128. So over here, I'm going to use WP scan. So WP scan. Okay, so let's do -help. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to try WP scan -update because that's necessary. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so the update hasn't completed. So we can move to the attacking point. So when we have a WP website, WordPress website, so we can use WP scan to enumerate the services over there. So over here, I'm going to use WP scan -URL, and that would be my HTTP 192.168.0.111. And the most important part that we look on the WP WordPress file is to enumerate the vulnerable plugins. All plugins, or you can say some of the plugins are vulnerable under WordPress, and some themes also you can see. So what are we going to do? We're going to use the WP VP, which is your vulnerable plugin. So I'm going to take the -enumerate over here, and I'm going to use VP. Let's try this one. So WP scan will start on the IP address, which is our target IP address, and it's going to look for the vulnerable plugins, and it will scan the entire network device over there. So over here we are running WP scan, and over here you can see they have find PHP my admin, but that is 403, which is forbidden. And I guess this one has been completed. You can see this will be our active reconnaissance. It means that there will be some logs over there. So for example, you can see the robot.txt was found, aggressive detection. So we can see allow and disallow directories over here. XML RPC seems to be enabled. You can simply read some documentation over here. XML RPC, which is your external entities over there, and this is basically Rapid 7 for more details. And over here we can see they have found readme.html. I don't know what is this one, so let's open this. Okay, so this was a normal documentation file on that server. So they have given installing famous 5 minutes installation. First thing first, updating. If you are updating from version 2.7 or higher, you can use the automation updater. It's like a manual thing here. External VP cron, you can see nothing. There's one thing over here. WordPress theme in 2015. So you can see the location of that. This 2015 is the version of that server. And over here you can see the version of outdated. Its latest is 2.7. And they are using an outdated version. The style name is 2015. You can see over here. And no plugins found over here. In most of the cases, they find some relevant data. The vulnerable plugins are vulnerable, themes are imported over here. So what we can try over here, we can try the brute force. You can see it through the Durbuster. We can also see that they find XML RPC on that, and it's showing 405. And there's one 301, which is over there also. This is blog. So what we're gonna try over here, we're gonna try. This was a dictionary that was on the robot.txt file. So we're gonna use this dictionary, and we're gonna use on the WP logging part. So over here, I'm gonna introduce a tool called Hydra, and how to use Hydra. We're gonna try that thing also. For first thing first, I need to short this dictionary. So when we have a dictionary, or we can perform a brute force attack on the WordPress to check if there is authentication bypass or authentication, we can simply gain unauthorized access. So I'm going to use the short command. As I mentioned before, that short command is basically used to short the commands on the unique codes we can string. We can find the unique strings on the specific dictionary. So I'm going to use -u over here, which is a unique check for the strict ordering, which is equal to run. So we're gonna run this one. So let's do ls sort -u. That would be our dictionary, and I'm gonna name this one robot. Yeah, let's move it to the root, desktop, Mr. Robot, and name it robot. Cannot read robot over there. Sorry. Pardon me. The biggest thing is to get it inside. So over here, I can see the robot file over there. So now it will have unique strings. And the total number of words over here would be around 11K. So what we're going to do, we're going to try a brute force attack on the server side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Burp Suite over here, and I'm going to intercept on the username and password parameter. So on the OWASP top 10, there is an attack called broken authentication. Broken authentication occurs when an attacker uses some dictionaries or phrases to gain unauthorized access on an application on the login form or the password. Because when we think about it in the real life scenarios, if we have 3 chances that we can simply log into the application. But if it's not blocking the request from the client side, there could be a broken authentication attack. Means 5 times, 6 times, the attacker is trying to get the access. It's not blocking from a period of time. So we're gonna try a brute force attack over here on the username and the password field. So I'm gonna pass a parameter with 1 and pass the parameter 2. So I will stop this one because it will hang the server, and I guess on the back end the Nikto is still running. Yep. So we're gonna try a brute force attack. So let's try intercept the request. Over here we can see the parameter that we want. You can see over here on the redirect client request to the VP admin and test the cookie. So we're gonna try a brute force attack, and I'm gonna use intruder for that. Send the request to the intruder, and I'm gonna drop the packet. Yes. So over here, the request has been captured on the intruder. We can see the host IP address and the 84. Or we can simply check the history also. You can see the history of the 111. You can also use over here to intercept the request. So you can see the robot.txt files over there on the history tab. So we're gonna use intruder to perform a brute force attack. So I'm gonna use a position. So in the position, I can see there are around 10 payload positions. So SCC is a parameter, FID. So we can clear all the tags. So we're gonna specify only the parameter that we wanna attack. So I'm gonna only attack on the username parameter. I'm gonna try on the first one first. So I'm gonna use the sniper method because we have a single parameter tag. First, we need to find the username with the help of dictionary. So I'm gonna go to the payload, and on the payload you can see there's a payload 1 set because we have specified only one payload. We're gonna add, yeah, yes. So we're gonna use the type method simple, and we're gonna load the parameter. So load. So that will run desktop. Yes, Mr. Robot, and we're gonna use the robot.txt file. So they are around 11,000 words, so it will take a lot of time. See over here. So we're going to use positions. We can simply use number of threads according to our own server, but this one will consume some memories over here. So let's try with attack first. Let's see what will happen. So over here you can see the number of scan has been on. So it's been 11,451 words, and it's gonna take some time. So let's see. So let's wait for the request to be complete. Still, it's starting with the first 2 digits. Through the sniper attack is basically used in a specific target, a specific position you can say, and that we are using on the username parameter. So you can see it's going to complete because it's taking all the words, all the phrases on that dictionary. Either you can try the burp suite, or there is a different tools. For example, you can use for password attack offline tools, online tools. There is a tool called Hydra over there. So how will I examine? Because all the status are 200. All the status are 200. 200 means okay response code. Let's see one by one. It's on D. See. Okay, let's try. Can you examine one thing? Can you notice one thing over there? You will notice one thing, that there is a 200, but we can examine with the maximum length. You can see 4196 over there. And over here, rest of the request over here, you can see 415. All the requests are
4145.
yes.
Yeah.
In the web application pen testing, we simply check the maximum number of paths. For example, over here I can see 4196, 4196, 4196, which is showing us a light over there. Let's check this one. Let's check the first one with the response code. It's showing the request which is standing from the client. This is a client request submitting 000. But we can examine through request response from server side. So over here it's login and ID passed. Invalid username. See, it's showing us invalid username. And let's try with the Eloyd with the response code. And over here, I can see one thing: the password you entered for the username Eloyd is incorrect. See the difference. You can see the difference in clear text. That there was an invalid username from this. 000 was not the username. But when we see over here on the Eloyd, I can see that this was a proper one. That you entering for the password Eloyd was incorrect. That the username Eloyd is the perfect person.
Yep.
So let's try to examine in real life. So I'm going to use admin over here and password. So it's remove the username and password together. So let's write Eloyd and password will be my name Partho. So it's remove the password, not the Eloyd. That it means the username is Eloyd is the perfect person. So through this one, we can examine the username in the first parameter by using a sniper attack. Let's try to find the password. So over here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the position, and this time I'm going to clear the tag, and I'm going to write Eloyd over here, and I'm going to highlight the password. So now we are perform a brute force attack on the password parameter. So for that case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a sniper attack over here. The payload will be the same, and only I change the parameter value where I'm going to attack. So let's start the attack again. So you can see the position that I already given Eloyd over there, and see the response code. In the response code, you will see Eloyd that I have given, and it will check the brute force attack on the password parameter. So let's see till the completed. So we're gonna examine this attack on the parameter length of the parameter. So this attack is also, as I mentioned, the broken authentication or authentication bypass, you can say. You can use various types of tools for checking the username and the password. But the most important thing is the response code. So the password would be around your 5,000 to yeah, it will be on 5,000 to 6,000 over there. So I guess the new Kali, you can see you can also use WP scan to perform a brute force attack on the parameter values, and it will work also. There are three tools that you can use: Hydra, the Burp Suite, and the WP scan. And WP scan will work only on the WordPress websites. It's still on the 8. So I guess if we are sending this much of request on the server side, it should be block us. According to the WAS top 10, we have to check each and everything in the real life scenarios. Delay, delayed, delete, deleted. We're going to try all the phases. Let's try with the maximum. Let's try the response. Okay, we have 302. See, sir. Now the request code has been changed. 302 means the client request has been redirected to a different resource, and that was found. Let's check over here on the response code. 302, and we can see the same origin that we have been logged in with the WP admin directory. Let's try this one. You will see 200. Okay, but over here you will examine that the password was incorrect. The password you entered at the username elite is incorrect. But over here we can see that 302 was found over here. It's all about the response code, sir. You will see all the requests has been 200, but now you will see the length of the packet has been less, and all are 200 requests. But over there we can see 302, which is our request modifier. So we have a password, which is this. Let's copy this one and try. And I can see that we have logged in properly. So we can see WordPress version 5.5.1 is available. Please update. And we can see we are in WordPress and we are Lloyd Anderson. This is the character of the Mr. Robot. So over here we can see username, first name. This is normal thing. We can see plugins, install plugins. But the most important part is your version of the WordPress. That was 12.15. So over here in the appearance you can see post. You can manage all the things over here of your website, I guess. But there are lots of techniques that we can bypass, or we can simply gain shells on that. See, this is the image file. Our democracy has been held. Nice. Who is Mr. Robot? Libraries, new ad. Okay, so as a pen tester, most of the pen tester they simply think if I can get a reverse shell of the server. So we can see over here there is an upload media. So over here we are on the phase of gaining access. We have gained access, but now we have to try the maintaining access. So we have to upload a shell on that server to check if we get a proper shell. For that case, I'm gonna use PHP reverse shell. You can use Pentest Monkey, or you can use reverse shell from GitHub. They are same. And you can see over here, this is a proper reverse shell, but I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to copy the URL, and I'm going to save it over here. I'm going to fetch the data from the URL. So I'm going to use wget command, and the shell has been downloaded over there properly. See, all you need is the raw file. So I'm going to use shell. I'm going to name this shell over here. Let's try. I guess this work has been done. Yeah, Nicto is also done. You can see. To the Nicto admin page, there's a PHP license.txt file. There's a WordPress WP login page found. This is also a best technique. So what we can do, we can try different kinds of things. For example, I'm gonna try to upload this shell. So let's try this one. Unregistered robot. PHP shell has been failed to upload due to error. Let's go to the page. And the comment. Okay, there's nothing we can upload. Okay. In the appearance, we can see themes. We can add some themes over here. Upload a theme. We can customize. Oh, we can see we have an editor mode. In editor mode, you will see some pages of the web contents. For example, we have 404, which is a template page, and this is a source code of the PHP. So I'm not good with the programming, but I can think as a hacker that 404 is a template of page not found. So you have to print. Yes.
Yes, that's true.
So what we can do, we can simply write our source code. So I'm gonna check my IP address. So my IP address is 110. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open the text editor, and I'm gonna change the IP address with my IP address. And the port that I'm gonna use is gonna go 4448. Let's copy the source code, and I'm gonna paste this one over here. So let's see. Let's hope it will execute. Over here, I can see the IP address has been changed and the port 4448. So let's try to upload the file. And oh, we can see the file has been uploaded. So as a hacker, as a pen tester, what are we gonna do? We're gonna get a reverse shell. So over here, let's activate our netcat. Mm, yes. To activate my netcat, I'm going to use netcat -numeric listening verbose port, and on the port number 4448, and I'm going to activate my listening mode over here. But the 404 page should be activated from here. So let's try to activate this one. So what I'm gonna do. Let's try 404 over here. 404.php from the direct server. So let's try this one. Nope, this one didn't work. So let's try from here. 404.php. So the 404 didn't work, I guess. So we have an error. So 404.php. Okay, let's try it over here. 110, where is the mistake that I have made? Upload a file. So that would be 404.php page not found. Should I call from this site? Let's copy this one and let's call the file from here, I guess 404.php. From the PHP, did I copy it right or not? From the PHP. Teamwork editor. So I was in the editor mode. This one, PHP 404, 2015. Select this one. So it was in 2015. Okay, so we are on the theme directory. Okay, and we are theme.editor. On the themes directory, let's write 2015, and the page was 404.php. Let's try this one. Now, so there is a mistake. It was content, if I remember the last time. No, it was not on content. So, on the editor, this is hang or what? Okay. Let's try to change with the this. There might be a problem over here. PHP. Still, I having an error, and I'm not getting a shell from the server side. This was the same path. Let's try WordPress reversion. Let's try the hacking articles. Yes. Okay, Raj Chandelwal. Login, appearance, or the editor mode, 404, shell.php. Okay, cool. The IP address, that's nice. Then what he did, WordPress WP content. Okay, function name. Did he select any function name from here? Okay, he did the 2015. Theme editor 2015. CSS style. Okay, 2015. 404 template.php. Yes, done. This is also done. But the path they are given is totally different. WordPress. Okay, let's try with this one. No. Let's try with this 404. Yeah. So it was all path mistake. Sorry. Hacking articles always
Okay.
help. Yeah. So that was a path mistake. Instead of the WordPress, I was using WP admin. So we have to use the WP admin over there as a 404.php given. So when we execute, we can see a proper shell has been given and we have a daemon user. So let's try our cheat sheet. That will be our, that was Got.milk. Yes. Linux installation part and Payato. So first of all, first thing first, let's get a shell. If the commands are limited, for example, let's use the pty to get a bash over there. So we're gonna write which Python. There's a Python, so we will get a tty over there. So where we are on the root directory, lsf and all. So let's check where we are. First of all, let's check for the home directory, cd home lsf and all. Okay, we have Robert over there and we have the permission to go over there. So cd Robert lsf and all, and over here we can see there is 2 out of key text, and it has only the root permission has this one. But we can see that there is another file which is over there. Read, but we have the read permission over here. Yeah, so we can read this one. So over here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this one, cat, and over here we can see it was root with the Robert with the hash over there, which is MD5. So we can use an MD5 decryptor. So over here, let's use hash killer. So this was a normal password. So this was MD5. So we can see the password is from A to Z. Yeah. The password is from A to Z. So this password belongs to robot. So what are we gonna do if we have any of the encrypt of any of the password of any of the users? Let's first of all, I'm gonna use cat etc password, and over here I can see there was Robert One-ish MySQL. Okay, there's a Britannian FTP which is 1000, which is super user, but we don't have that one. You can see robot has 102 SID. So I'm gonna use clear first of all. Okay. Export Let's use su robot. So it's going to ask me the password. So the password that we have over here was A to Z. And let's copy this one, and I'm going to paste it over here. And that's be our robot. So when you have a permission of any of the user on the server side, kindly check with the sudo -l. Sorry, user robot may not wrote sudo on Linux. Okay. So today I'm going to introduce a new vulnerability to you. So that vulnerability would be in the PIA2. Executing sudo sudo executables, SUID. So over here, SUID, which stands for set user ID, is a Linux feature that allows user to execute a file with the permission of a specific user. For example, the Linux ping command is typically requires root permission in order to open a raw network socket. By making the ping program as SUID with the owner as a root, ping execute with the root privileges anytime allow users which specified the ping command. See, you can check the if on the root section you will see RWS. S means set user ID, that is set by the user, specific user. That you can run that command with the full privileges of the specific user. You can see the character S instead of X indicate that the SUID bit has been set, which is basically allow a permission to specified user. You can see over here, SUID is a feature that when used properly enhance Linux security. The problem is that the administrator may unknowingly introduce dangerous SUID configuration when they install third-party application or make logical configuration changes. A large number of system admins don't understand what is to be set SUID bit and where not. So there is always a command that we can use to set the SUID permission. For example, you can see find parameter with the -u, user with the S, with the set user ID and the type of null bytes. It prints the executable file with the SUID bits. For example, let's try to use this file. So over here, you can see ping is basically there, and mount, ping, SU. And other features that we can use for. So over here we can see we're gonna try all the attacks one by one. So for example, see this one. We're gonna use a command called ls-a and the command to check the permission. So over here, let's use one of the command. For example, let's try. I'm gonna use. Let's try with the ping first of all. ls-all to check the permissions. So you can see it's already set with the user, sudo user. Let's try with the nmap. Over here they have given. And through the nmap, you can also see this has been set user ID. Let's try with the password. Yes, the password has been also set. You have to check all the commands over there, but there's an application which is nmap which is running over there. So as a pen tester, you can check the version nmap -version, and this is an old version which is using 3.8. And now if you check your own Kali version of nmap, that would be 7.8. And there was a time that through the old version of nmap, and any of the system user can escalate their privileges, or simply they can get the root access. For example, there is a mode called attractive mode over there. Interactive mode. you can see this is same commands over here: ss, st, su, sf, -o. You can use interactive mode just like over here. Through the interactive mode, lots of users can simply escalate their privileges, or they can simply jump to the shell. So if you run interactive mode of nmap, so let's do hatch. So you can see over here, they have given some few commands. For example, run shell commands with the foreign ground. So if you run any of the shell command with the command, you will get you can execute that shell with the root privileges, because this application nmap is basically escalated or set user by the user root. So if I write escalate as such, so you can see over here, I get a hash over there. So if I write who am I can see user root. And that was the last key of that machine. So this was a proper here Mr. Robot machine.
Perfect.